Good morning, everybody. It's early morning start for me, Valerie Ling, clinical psychologist and an advocate for Let's Stop Burning Out. I've had a long drive this morning, and I was really reflecting on looking at my caseload for the week and thinking and planning. One of the things that we do is we actually administer two fairly robust personality assessments. One is work grounded, the other is sort of more your classical looking at clinical indicators of personality. And from there, we actually try to look at, well, two main things. One is sort of more historical posture-like factors to do with burnout, and another one is more dynamic, looking just at fit and culture. And one of the things I was thinking about as I was driving today is it's a common theme is that a lot of times I've got to actually go in and look at people's history for where they've got their work ethics and their work approach. And I just want to say burnout breeds burnout. Okay, it's really, really important. I get pushback in the initial stages of working through people's work ethics and routines because there is often a belief that the more you do, the more productive you are and the more responsible you are being. So, if you stop or if you don't finish a task or if you're not thorough enough, that you're being somehow negligent and you just keep moving, you keep going. And one of the things that I find that I often have to do is to actually just go back and actually look at where did this work ethic come from? And very often you will find a couple of things. One is growing up in a home environment, perhaps, where you weren't allowed to rest or rest wasn't talked about, or you were ridiculed or criticized if you weren't doing or not continuing to produce. Even the things like being really pulled up by the adults in your world for not moving fast enough or not pushing hard enough. But it also comes from our experiences with school, study, early work experiences, what was expected for us. So, some of the classic things of, when you're just starting out in your career and being sort of socialized into your work environment. And what I want to say is that eventually this sort of legacy that you come through is the legacy that you leave behind. Okay? It's really, really important to think about this. That burnout legacy or that work ethic history that you come from is what you are going to role model to those around you. It's also what you're going to leave behind because it's what is going to shape your leadership, the way that your team responds to your leadership, the way that your team starts to walk and march to the beat of that drum. And eventually you're going to land up with a culture that beats to the rhythm of the drum that leads them to burnout, systemic issues of burnout. So if ever you're looking for a reason to really stop and say, maybe I'm working too much, or maybe productivity is really hampered, I'm not being creative, the wheels are falling apart, and it's not enough for you to think that maybe I need to investigate my work ethic. I want you to think about that maybe it's investigating your work ethic and the way that you're approaching your work for others. Burnout breeds burnout. It's the legacy we leave behind, and it's the legacy of what we shape in our organizations, in our culture. And speaking at a more personal level, it's also what your family is being shaped around, right? It's not just about absent parents. It's about busy, frantic, frayed, reactive home environments as well, that starts to spill into the way that our kids approach work, our kids approach their sense of productivity and efficiency. Burnout burns, burnout burns, burnout breeds burnout. Got it. See you later.